Welcome, Dark Warriors. This is Rumen. Welcome back to Ratchet and Clank 100%, where I show everything there is to do in this game. Anyway, before I start, I just want to do a little breakdown of the menu, because that's something that I like to do in my Let's Plays. I like to go over all of the settings and options in every game that happens to have a menu like this. Anyway, a detail I really like is when you bring up the menu, it kind of forms this CRT-esque display. I feel like this is really cool because I think in the universe, this implies that this is Ratchet's little cuff link that he has on his wrist right there. That's a Gadgetron product where the help desk girl talks to Ratchet. And I like to think that Ratchet kind of like presses a button on that cuff link, and that is what brings up this menu. So it makes sense in the world. Anyway, here are the weapons. We only have one weapon at the current moment. We will be getting another one shortly. I love these little animations of Ratchet here. Very cool. I like how you can see the weapon spinning as well as its ammo spinning down there. Very cool gadgets. Same deal. We don't have any gadgets at the current moment, but whenever you do happen to get a gadget and you select it, you'll see it appear on Ratchet on the right there, and a cool little animation will play. Quick select. This is where you can adjust where you place weapons. That's right. Look how many weapons there are in this game. Look at all these slots for weapons. That's right. You get a very big arsenal in this game. Very fun game. A lot of stuff to play with in this game. Items. This is different from the gadgets, believe it or not. And there are a lot of items in this game. I think there are 9. And we'll be sure to get all the items. The gold bolts are items. We'll collect all of those. Help. We got the help log. These are where you can read the help desk girl messages in case you accidentally skip one. They all appear here. Also, they appear here even if you go into options and you turn off the help desk girl. So even if you turn these off and you don't want to play with her commentating over the game, then those will still, appear in the help log. It's pretty convenient. The controls, very basic stuff going on there. Moves. This is where you can see all of the movement options you can do. It's funny. They tell us how to glide, boost jump, and stretch jump, even though we can't even do those right now. Here is another place where you can view your weapons. You get very cool descriptions for all the weapons down there. Gadgets, and same deal. We don't have any gadgets right now. And then options. These are the help desk girl messages. I mean, not the messages, but you can turn off help desk girl if you want. Save. This is where you save your game. Load. This is where you load your game. Sound. Where you adjust the sound. I like to turn the music up a little bit. Also, look at this. Why is the card up there off center? Like the sound options is on the left a little bit, and that's for every option too. So see, the help desk options is to the left, camera options is to the left. Like, I wonder if that's a mistake. I wonder if the developers accidentally off-centered that, or if that's intentional. I don't know. Subtitles on. I always thought it was weird how the subtitles were a picture of this person right here, but it seems kind of random to put Helga as the subtitles option. Anyway, quick game, very funny. It's a picture of Fork looking very distressed. Clank is the help desk icon because he's just a helpful little guy. Anyway, that's the options menu, and now let's get on with this game, shall we? Gonna run down here. Look at that. The help desk. I mean, the Gadgetron vendor. It's blue in this game.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
And you have this cool guy talking to you. I love how in this game you see all the weapons like get displayed. A hologram there.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Anyway, here we have the blaster and the pyrocitor. 2 very good weapons, if I'm being honest. Anyway, I'm going to buy the pyrocitor. Here it is. I like how every weapon gets a little animation when you equip it. So when you equip the pyrocitor, you can see it unfold itself. That's really cool. That makes it seem like Ratchet just puts all of them in his pocket and then he just takes them out and they unfold. That's so cool. I'm gonna run down here. Gonna get these bolts because you need more bolts to get that other weapon, which is also very good. Yep, center the camera, tap L1, very convenient. This is the pyrocitor. Very good range. Very useful in speed runs, but I'm not going to go over speedrun strats in this walkthrough. This is more of a non-speedrun walkthrough. I know there's probably going to be some comments, people going like, hey, you can do this, this, and this, and this, and this if you do this, this, and this, and this. And it's like, okay, I don't care about that because this is not a walkthrough, okay? I mean, this is not a speedrun, okay? Anyway. Yeah, speedruns love this weapon, but casually, it's still very good. It's pretty powerful. It has pretty good range. And you can spin to get like a shield around yourself. So you can protect Ratchet in a 360-degree formation like that. Very cool. Around, collect all these bolts. There's a ship up there. Pretty easy to just avoid. See, it shoots very slowly at you, so you can just run around those shots. Some more enemies here. Let's run over here and get some more ammo. If you play your cards right, you never really have to buy ammo in this game because you always have these crates around the worlds giving you more ammo. But it's still a good idea to buy ammo at certain points, so. Here to collect all these bolts. Run down these stairs. We have this little guy. He'll drop bombs. Don't step on those. You can run in the direction he's running, and he won't run the other. And he won't run the other way. Excuse me. Very cool structure here. It's like a sculpture of a spaceship of some kind. Maybe some kind of UFO or something. Ouch! Don't jump on the bomb. We have a long stretch of road here with enemies on it. These are a type of blarg. It implies that, you know, Drek's plan is in full motion. You know, he sent his men to various different planets, and now they're on this planet, wreaking havoc. They're gonna destroy Metropolis soon. Oh, we gotta save it. Excuse me.
Ratchet, that's the man we saw on the infobot. Remember? He knows Captain Quark.
Hey, you're that robot guy, right?
No, actually, I build robots. I myself am not a robot guy, per se.
Nerd.
I like him.
So, now that we've cleared that up, what can I do for you?
Well, we saw your infobot announcement. You were with Captain Quark. We're trying to find Captain Quark. We thought you could help us.
Your logic is commendable. However, I haven't seen Captain Quark since we shot that commercial. Say, do you run on standard XP18 sister boards?
Version 7.66.
Back at ya. I may be able to help you out after all. How does a helipack upgrade sound?
Upgrade?
Natch. Since he's a 766, I could have the little guy up and flying in no time. Of course, I'll just need my fee for service.
1,000 bolts. Pretty expensive.
Okay, this won't hurt a bit.
Hey, wait. Ratchet, am I cool now?
Yeah, you the man, Clank.
You're welcome.
Helipack upgrade, hell yeah. I love the helipack. Do long jump, big jump. They're a lot faster now.
Try using the helipack's boost jump feature to climb these boxes. Press the R1 button to crouch, then jump.
And yes, you do have to buy the helipack. It's mandatory. I don't want anybody in the comments going, oh, it's not mandatory. Speedrunners have found ways to beat the game without using the helipack. I don't care. Anyway, for all intents and purposes, it is mandatory, and the game makes you buy it. Unless you're doing some try-hard speedrun strats.
Stretch jump feature to cross this gap. While you're running...
Oh my gosh, you can barely hear her. Anyway, that's right, the helipack, very iconic. It'll stay with you throughout the entire series. And be sure to get used to controlling it, because you do have to use it. You have to get used to doing these long jumps. You have to get used to doing these high jumps. You can't just play the game without it, so be sure to get used to it. Be sure to cherish it and appreciate it. And be sure to find it very fun, because the funner you find it, the more you will get used to controlling it, and the more you'll use it. Got some ammo over here. 13 processor ammo. I guess I was almost full there. Also, the cool thing about the Pyrocitor is that it has 240 ammo. That is so much for this weapon. They did not have to give you that much. They could have just given you 200 of this ammo, But no, they decided to give us 40 extra, the developers, so it's very nice of them, very generous. Long elevator there. I really like how long that elevator is. It makes it feel like, you know, these buildings are very tall and we're very high in the sky up on these buildings. Anyway, you want to run over here, and you see down there, what you want to do is you want to position yourself to do a big jump. So go. All right, hope and pray. Just keep going. Don't worry, it is not as scary as it looks. And there you go. That is your first skill point, and we will be sure to get all the skill points. The skill points are basically that. So whenever you do a little secret thing in the game, you'll get a skill point, and I'll be showing all of them. So those are very fun to get. In this game, oh boy, the later Ratchet and Clank games have some dubious skill points, man. But in this game, they're all pretty fun to get. So, oh boy, I can't wait to get to the later Ratchet and Clank games and show what devilish things the developers came up with in order to get all the skill points. Oh boy. There's one in Ratchet and Clank 3 that's really bad. Oh, I do not look forward to that one in Ratchet and Clank 3. Those who've played Ratchet and Clank 3 know which skill point I'm talking about. Oh boy. Anyway, also Tools of Destruction has a skill point that's no fun. Anyway, yep, let's get and move on. Be sure to break all these crates. Gotta get that money. I recommend buying one weapon per planet, personally speaking. Anyway, run over here. Anything in the distance. Run down here to fight these enemies because it gives you more bolts. You can actually sit here and just wait for the enemies to respawn out of this, and then you can just fight enemies for a while. Yeah, I killed all the enemies and then more respawn. This is a good way to grind for money, but personally I wouldn't recommend doing that because it's just a waste of time. And there's better ways to get bolts later. Anyway, in order to get that fancy gold bolt up there, we want to position ourselves between these two stacks of boxes here, and then you want to wall jump up to it like that. There you have it. Also behind here, we have more bolts. Be sure to get as many of those as you can, because there was a weapon, a very good weapon at the vendor that cost 2,500 bolts. That's a very hefty price tag. That's just as expensive as this weapon. Oh boy, the weapons are expensive in this game. A lot of enemies over here. Gotta be careful. They have projectiles. You can get hit 4 times before dying. Also, enemies have friendly fire, which is very convenient. So if an enemy hits another enemy, then that means you don't have to worry about that enemy. And it also means that enemy just shielded you from the blast. Anyway, up here, more bolts, more ammo. These early levels are very generous with the ammo. The later levels, not so much. The later levels get really tough when it comes to preservation. So you want to make sure you start, you know, not like completely spamming your weapons in the later levels, because you're going to have to, you know, deal with some obstacles without ammo if you aren't careful. So bonked into the wall there. And let's get these bolts here. Very nice. Also, this is one of the coolest parts in the game right here. See this train? Check it out. It looks like you're just going to walk over there to the front of the train, but no, you jump on the train. Then all of a sudden the train starts moving. Like, I know it's such a little thing nowadays, but you need to understand, when you're a kid and you're playing this game in the 2000s, it's like, whoa, I'm on the moving train And it also affects your movement, so Ratchet's jump feels slightly different because of how the train is moving. Like, his momentum is less reliable. It's very cool. That's right, very tough enemy gauntlet here on very tough moving train platforms. Game is no joke. Gotta be careful. Try to dodge those bullets. Don't get hit. There we go. Badass. Oh, look, we were close to the blimp. Look how close the blimp was. Oh, we're so high in the sky. This game is cool. Now get back here, you little bugger. Try to kill this guy so he doesn't lay more bombs for you. Anyway, let's run over here. Very conveniently, you get 2 whole nanotech crates here in case you took some damage. So, but be careful, because later on in the game is not as generous with nanotech, and they're not as generous with ammo. So, yeah, really be careful in this game. They do become more generous with bolts, though, so you do get more bolts in later levels.
Greetings, Executive Chairman Drek.
Dispense with the pleasantries, Lieutenant. My sources tell me you're behind schedule. You must prepare this planet to be harvested for our new world.
Yes, sir. As you can see, everything is moving along as planned.
I'm counting on you, Lieutenant. And as your former commander can tell you, I don't take disappointment well.
Yes, sir. I won't fail.
Drek is destroying yet another planet.
Yeah, but if that's the kind of help he's getting, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
You should not underestimate Chairman Drek. He is quite dangerous. We must find Captain Quark.
Look, that lieutenant doesn't seem so tough. Let's take him out ourselves.
Perhaps we can persuade the lieutenant to tell us where Drek is.
Now you're talking.
I know people typically don't like how Ratchet isn't taking this very serious, situation that seriously. Well, I like that. I like how he's not so serious, because it makes the later parts really punch you in the gut. Anyway, when he does start taking it seriously, be sure to jump down here and collect these bolts. We have 3,164 bolts. That is awesome. That is awesome. If you want to see how many bolts you have at any moment, then just press the map button like that. Anyway, we can run over here for a pretty pointless secret area. Now that we have the high jump, we can high jump up here. And there's not really anything useful over here. Just, a few amount of bolts. There. And there. And then there. See, this is what I'm talking about earlier when I said that there seems like places in this game where gold bolts look like they should have been hidden, but there are no gold bolts. Because the developers just really like the number 40. They like how there's 40 gold bolts, so they didn't want any more than that. Or at least that's my theory. Anyway, let's run over here. And over here for a very fun little platforming challenge. But first, let's break these crates. There we go.
Welcome to the Captain Quark Fitness Course. If you're strong enough, fast enough, and clever enough to beat my fitness challenge, you will receive a reward from my head trainer. Simply make your way to the 3rd island to complete the course. Good luck! Quark Enterprises is not responsible for sprains, broken bones, snapped tendons, bruised egos, or accidental death incurred while taking the challenge.
Excuse me, Captain, but we have more pressing issues. We urgently need your assistance.
Clank,
Yes?
do you notice anything unusual about Captain Quark?
Well, I find the fact that he has a spring where his leg should be to be quite puzzling.
And why do you think that is?
Possibly an injury incurred while battling evil?
This isn't the real Captain Quark, you numbskull. It's a robot.
Oh.
Ratchet's very likable in that cutscene. Yeah, I like that cutscene a lot. Very funny.
That's right, fitness fans. Just make it to the third island to claim your reward. And don't forget to tune in this week as I, Captain Quark, appear in person to present the grand prize for the Hoverboard Championship held in Blackwater City.
If you keep talking to him, you actually get different cutscenes.
Yes, you too can be as fit and good-looking as your hero, Captain Quark. Well, maybe not as good-looking. Go ahead and take the challenge to see if you can claim the reward.
Is that the last one?
That's right,
Yeah, it's the last one.
Just make it to the third island to claim your reward. And
Also, when you want to skip cutscenes, you have to press L1, R1, and then start and select all at the same time. In the original PS2 version, and every other version is just start, which is a nice change. But I like the original PS2 version because I like playing this game in the original developer's vision, you know what I mean? Because I'm pretentious like that. And the developers originally intended the cutscenes to be skipped with 4 different buttons, I guess, before realizing that was a dumb idea and changing it for every other release. Anyway, contrary to popular belief, there is no skill point here. Some people believe that there's a skill point if you complete this obstacle course in a certain way. No, there is not, interestingly enough. So you can take your time, like all the time in the world. You know, use these platforms, make sure you're positioning yourself on these platforms. No need to rush. There's no speed skill point here, but if you want to take a very cool shortcut, you actually jump all the way over there. So, got this long jump here. Look how far this long jump goes. Yeah. That's right, big jump there. If you want to try to get used to long jumping far distances, then see if you can take that jump right there. Big jump. This platform comes in and out. You can use that platform, or you can do a big jump like I just did. Very tough platforming in this game. There's no shame in falling down. Sometimes that just happens. If you fall down, don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us.
Walls also function as jump slides. Jump and jump again to kick off the walls in midair until you reach the top.
I think there's a funny story behind these walls. I think during playtesting, the developers had a really hard time getting players to know to jump between those walls, and had to do a lot of like revamping stuff in order to actually get the player to know to do that. And I know that's a big roadblock for some players when they're first playing this game when they're kids, because a lot of players, they come across this part and they're like, what do I do? How the f do I get? I mean, how do I get all the way up there? So yeah, this part, roadblock for a lot of people. All right. Very cool secret here. Big jump. Glide of hope. There we go. I really like the bolt pickup animation in this game. Later games, I don't like it as much. It's the same animation in the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games, but in the later Ratchet and Clank games, they change it to be a different animation. That's not as good. Anyway, so many bolts here. Oh my gosh, so much money. Dude, we have 4,000 bolts. Oh my gosh. Look how much money we have. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this is kind of cheap. We go back to our ship with this. Man, the developers didn't have to do that. The developers could have just made this taxi take us all the way back up to where we were, where we jumped off. But no. This game is tricky, you see. So, if you want to get that gold bolt, you have to sacrifice your time and your patience. And you have to go all the way back up that tower again. But before we do that, we want to get another very interesting secret. So you see this bottomless pit, jump down, and right there, that's obscure. I know a lot of people in their childhood never even found this one. I wonder like who in their childhood actually found this gold bolt on their own. This is a crazy one. Look how obscure that one is. And it's funny, apparently the gold bolts in this game were based and placed on places the testers would find. So if a tester would wander into an area, one of the devs might look at that and go, hey, wait a minute, that's a good place to hide a gold bolt. And apparently it wasn't until Ratchet & Clank 3 where they actually made dedicated areas to hide gold bolts. So imagine being a tester accidentally going down there. I don't know, that's kind of a dubious story. I don't believe that one. The developers totally made that area specifically for the gold bolt. Anyway, yes, gotta go all the way back up there. How about that? That's not nice for the developers. How can the developers like put that gold bolt there where we have to jump down and then not even give us a convenient way to teleport back up? They're just wasting our time. Gotta do all this very challenging platforming again. I like how they have a little green spot here. Like, hey, jump here. You can tell the developers put that there because the focus group couldn't figure that out. Anyway, funny. That's right, very quickly running through this. This part here that stumped a lot of people. Gotta jump over that again. I guess I should collect this bolt. There we go, because I know it's gonna bother some viewers if I don't collect that bolt. Big jump there. Patience. These platforms are going in. I don't have the patience for this. I just want to go, go, go. But no, I gotta wait for these platforms. Gosh. This is fun. I like how this feels fun, even though you're not even doing anything.
Listen up, you loudballs! That was the most pathetic display I have ever seen on that obstacle course!
What do you mean?
We finished the circuit, ma'am.
Oh yeah, but it was weak. When I was competing, I would devour courses like that for breakfast.
Bet that's not all.
If it were up to me, you would drill for the rest of the day. But somehow you managed to impress that fool Captain Quark.
Captain Quark knows about us?
He certainly does. And worst of all, he wants me to give you a prize for that ridiculous performance.
Cool, what is it?
I'm supposed to give you a swing shot, so you can sway to and fro like little insects.
All right, let's see it.
Not so fast. Today, the two of you disgraced my obstacle course, so I am going to make you pay.
But that prize is ours from the captain. That's not fair.
Too bad. Life's not fair.
1,000 bolts. That's expensive. And I just pressed the start button thinking that was the buy button, but no, it's actually triangle.
Sweet. I bet Captain Quark uses stuff like this all the time.
Ha! Real men can swing without silly toys like that. The two of you make me sick.
Congratulations on your new Gadgetron Swing Shot. Use it on standard Versa targets like the ones nearby. If the target is out of view, use the L1 button to aim.
That last line she said, real men can swing like that without silly toys like that. That specific line of dialogue always made me go, huh? like how? What does she mean by that? Anyway, this is one of the coolest little gadgets in this game. So those of you who played the recent Insomniac games know where this is going. Look at that. That's right. Back in 2002, Insomniac had this really awesome, really fun, really momentum-based swing shot mechanic. So of course they're going to be the ones that make the newest Spider-Man games. You know, like no wonder why they were contacted by Sony to make the Spider-Man games. Very convenient shortcut back there. I wish the later Ratchet & Clank games had these fun shortcuts. So we have this, I don't even know what you would call this. Just the rail that you grab on with your wrench and then you slide down to get back to an earlier area. The later Ratchet & Clank games have teleporters. So you walk on a teleporter and then that'll teleport you to an earlier area. So I don't know. I mean, I like the rails more. I think it's funner to jump on a rail and then have Ratchet swing down to an area instead of walking on a teleporter and having the teleporter do all the work for you. Anyway, that is this planet. You can view your missions by pressing in R3 and then X, and we have all missions complete. And we're going to do all the missions because this is a 100% playthrough, so of course I'm going to do all the missions. Also, enjoy this while it lasts. So you see how it says all missions complete down there in bright yellow? That's very nice because you can just quickly look at this screen and then you can see they have all the missions complete. It's a very small thing, but it is noticeable. Because in Ratchet Clank 2, you do not have an all missions complete marker like that. So in order to know in the sequels that you have all the missions complete, you have to like tediously go through all the missions and make sure they're all checked off. But no, not in the first Ratchet & Clank game. In the first Ratchet & Clank game, you have all missions complete in bright yellow. Very convenient. You can just glance at that and then get them move on. Very nice. Anyway, that's it for this planet. That is Metropolis, one of the coolest planets in the game. Very good music, very good sound design. A lot of enemies on this planet, a lot of bolts. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, Dark Warriors.